Okay, what I'm trying to do today is all of us here on the planet have a divine purpose. Kim Michaels has a magnificent purpose in terms of bringing together and trying to find the 10,000 people on the planet today who already embody some level of the Christ consciousness, and to take these people through the initiations of the 7 rays so that they can reach Christhood in this lifetime. Now, that might sound like a small number of people, but imagine we've literally, up until, the 2010, we literally only had one person a year that was ascending. Gandhi has ascended and become an ascended master now. We have lots of ascended masters. But the idea of the potential of, 10,000 Gandhis at one time, 10,000 Christ, in embodiment at one time on the planet, that are embodying these gifts and abilities, wow, what would that do for the rest of the planet? And yesterday, a group of us all over the world did a vigil designed to bring in more light to end conflict and war on the planet. So if everybody were doing their little part, wow, what a different place the world would be. So Kim, I want to thank you for that vigil, and I was so excited to be able to participate for 4 hours in that.
Yeah, that was a great experience, wasn't it?
Yes, and I'm confident that the numbers will be growing every month. So we'll be doing that every month. Kim, what is it? The 4th? I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, the last Sunday in every month. The
last Sunday in every month. So I do want to invite everyone to join in. Even if you don't want to do the 4 hours, you can do, you can choose one of the invocations. Go to transcendencetoolbox.com. Now, Nandi has his mission here on the planet, and it has to do with helping people master consciousness. So, Nandi, let's just start out with your mission as it has been given to you on the planet.
Yes. Every one of us, we look at our realities from where we are at. Now, that's the question, where we are at. And the moment we wake up, we realize our thought too springs from the higher place, and so does our reality, and so does it enable us to utilize consciousness to enhance consciousness. In other words, utilize an empowered mind to empower realities even further. And when consciousness comes together with all of us awake, there is no problem that cannot be there would be no problem on planet Earth that cannot be resolved. Everything on planet Earth can be resolved. It's like the power of 1,000,000 Mahatma Gandhis, Rumis, Einsteins coming together. And this potential is so much more awake now, especially with, on one side, the aspect of evil that's happening on our planet Earth. Mm-hmm. On the other side, the innate need and the innate call for each one of us to want to seek light, to want to seek a stress-free life, to want to seek ease and grace in our human realities, our day-to-day realities. And all this is possible when we begin our journey through expanding consciousness to be in tune with the same Christ consciousness that 2,000 years ago came about as a thought, and today it is possible that every one of us can attain that layer of consciousness.
Well, Kim, that was Christ's mission 2,000 years ago. Would you comment on what happened?
Well, I think it's partly because so many people were not ready for the message he had, because it is such a difficult process to free ourselves from the illusion that we all have grown up under. But I also think, of course, that, like Nandi was saying, the power elite, the forces of evil, took over the Christian religion and distorted the message of Jesus.
And Nandi, you're right. The potential is still there. It's just a matter of waking it up in each individual. You were saying that someone asked you, why should I, want to master consciousness?
Why should I want consciousness? I'm happy, I'm grounded, and why should I want it? And this is where it all comes to. We wake up in the morning and we are wondering, why is our head not clear enough? Or why are the thoughts not happy enough? Mm-hmm. And all this begins with where we are thinking from. Yeah. And then the next question is, what do we want? What is our innermost aspiration? Everyone wants to be a ninja.
And what kind of ninja?
A ninja means a Superman.
Oh,
Everyone
okay.
wants to be a Superman, a Superwoman.
Okay. All right.
And it is possible if we wake up and we climb above on layers of consciousness, then we are that limitless possibility.
Yes.
We are the immense beings. For instance, this is one question I would have for everyone as to what is the similarity in a church, in a mosque, in a temple? What is this? What is it? What is the common denomination factor? And that common denomination factor is that big is our soul.
That is what?
That big is our soul.
Our soul is as big
when we
as the
awaken,
church?
That's how big we are.
Okay.
And that's why we need that huge buildings to house us, because that's whom we really are.
Yes.
Now bring that into human realities, bring that power of the spirit in the human mind.
Yeah.
Now imagine the realities from here.
Okay, so what is your goal with the book? What are you hoping to accomplish?
When we look into our day-to-day realities, much of how we create our realities come from how we think. What if we thought like a yogi? We thought like a sage? What if we all would think like Rumi, Mahatma Gandhi? Now, take any reality we have and we question, where does the anger come from? Where does jealousy come from? All the emotional states come from the lower states of mind. But as you go higher and higher, we see solutions, we see possibilities. So the 108 Consciousness Sutras, and each sutra was created based on a life reality and the solution from the perspective of the sages.
Okay. So the sutras are designed to deal with specific issues that we need to transcend or deal with?
Yes, because each sutra was tailor-made with taking into consideration the actual ground reality and what is the higher perspectives of it.
Okay, so give us one of your favorite sutras.
For instance, let's assume that you have cause to be. Let's assume you've been hurt, and we are so angry. What would you like to do?
With it? Okay.
So the first take is that you would want to go into a state of higher consciousness and go beyond the anger form and go beyond the emotional form and find love in yourself first, and then climb into that space where you know you are protected. And when you climb to this space where you know you are protected, you are cared for the divine. Mm-hmm. You allow the divine to take care of it. Now, if you go there and say, please God, do this to my enemy, do that to my enemy, it is like a policeman stealing. So, when you climb higher, know that when the divine wakes up, it is like the halo saints have. That is Mother Kundalini. It's very protective. No matter what, the divine will protect you, will take care of you, will watch your back for you.
So you have a sutra for each one of them?
Yes.
Okay, so would you give us an example of one of your sutras or share one?
Okay, I'd like to come to the last of the sutra, which is the sutra number 108, which is more like a sum total of all the sutras. Okay. And that is, we are consciousness. Okay. I would work it as a rough read through. Okay. We are the truth within all religions. We are the collective consciousness of all masters. We are the ones we have been waiting for. We worship the lamp within ourselves. We honor all paths to consciousness. We reject violence. We are non-violent. We uphold equality of all humanity. We utilize intelligent means to protect ourselves against ignorance. We cherish the sacredness of the equality of the feminine and the masculine. We are scientists of every profession and a priest to our own consciousness. We are messengers of peace, heralding the millions more born each day. We honor the divine in every name and the namelessness. We pray for humanity, planet Earth, and all the living. We are kind, sensitive, charitable, and innately good. We meditate and draw our wisdom from within. We are compassionate to all the living. We are the timelessness defining time. We sustain and nourish Mother Earth. We are dynamics of change. We know our heart's purpose. We are consciousness. We are liberated. We lead humanity. We are one.
Oh, that's very beautiful. I think that one should be the beginning and the ending one.
See, ultimately, when we wake up and when we are conscious, we are the natural leaders.
So how would you define consciousness?
To be conscious is to be the spirit having the human experience.
Okay.
To be on the rooftop of the mind. To be from a place beyond the mind's momentum.
Okay. Now, Kim, would you give us, how would you define consciousness from the Ascended Master perspective and mastering it?
Oh, that's not so easy, I think.
Okay.
I think there isn't just one definition.
Yes,
there's a wide range of definitions.
Okay. Well, in terms of Nandi, saying that we need to master consciousness, how would you define it? Well, I guess we'll pick it up after commercial break. That'll give Kim some time to figure out how to say that in 60 seconds or less. Thank you for tuning in to Divine Love Talk on CRN. I am talking with Nandi and his book, Mastery of Consciousness. And where can they get it?
It's on Amazon.com.
All right. Mastery of Consciousness. We'll be back with more after commercial break. I'm your host, Dr. Parthenia Grant, with my co-host, Kim Michaels, sitting in via Skype.
You're experiencing pain, back pain, shoulder, elbow, or hand pain from a sports injury. If so, schedule a visit with Dr. Michael Sheps, the leading expert in laser therapy for pain management. Call 310-873-4422 or go to drsheps.com. Experience Epic T, the breakthrough laser therapy system that Dr. Sheps developed to make you pain-free in less time. Laser therapy is a non-invasive, safe, and effective in-office procedure that penetrates deep into your skin without damaging the tissue. It perfectly targets areas of pain to promote fast, natural healing. Relax your muscles, ease muscle spasms, joint stiffness, and arthritis pain while increasing blood circulation. For over 25 years, Dr. Sheps has helped Olympic athletes and sports enthusiasts alike get back in the game. Schedule your visit with Dr. Sheps at his Brentwood office in California. Call 310-873-4422 or visit drsheps.com. That's DRSHEPS.com. 310-873-4422.
Did you know that with a bachelor's degree, on average, you can make almost twice as much over a lifetime than a person with just a high school diploma? Yes! According to the U.S. Census Bureau, you can make almost twice as much. Going back to college is now easier than ever. There are select online colleges that provide laptops to their students. In fact, there are thousands of college programs on your laptop. You can go to college anywhere and everywhere right from a laptop. Call My College Laptop and you can find hundreds of programs from accredited colleges and universities nationwide. Start a new career in law enforcement, business, information technology, healthcare, and hundreds of others. Call My College Laptop to find an online college that will provide you with a laptop. In no time at all, you can double your earning potential. Double your earning potential. Call now. 1-800-582-7531. That's 800-582-7531. 800-582-7531.
CRN travelers, relax at the beautiful Fountain Grove Inn and Conference Center in Santa Rosa, California. Come to quality and come to luxury. Experience the newly renovated guest rooms. They're generously sized and they're decorated in the Tuscan tradition. They have great, incredible pillow-top mattresses, luxurious linens, and down-filled comforters. The Fountain Grove Inn also offers complimentary Wi-Fi and internet access. There's warm cookies and coffee every evening in the hotel lobby, and you can visit the newly remodeled Equus Restaurant and Equus Lounge with its new wine bar. It's the ideal place to relax and enjoy a glass of wine and watch our What's Cooking on Wine show on CRN with host Larry Van Alst on Wednesdays. It's the Fountain Grove Inn, Hotel, and Conference Center located in the heart of Sonoma wine country. It's easily located in Santa Rosa off the 101 Fountain Grove Parkway exit. Call 707-578-6101. That's 707-578-6101 or visit fountaingroveinn.com.
Okay, we're back with more Divine Love Talk on CRN, talking with Nandi and Kim Michaels and Athena about the mastery of consciousness. Athena, you want to take a stab at mastery of consciousness. What is consciousness?
I want to say hi to Kim first. Hi,
okay.
Kim.
Hi, Athena.
I'm so happy that you're doing all this work with the Ascended Masters, as I'm named after Athena, who's also one of the Ascended Masters. I feel honored to just be in that vibration, so thank you. Consciousness to me is, when Nandi was talking about thinking from the higher mind, is we have an ant's perspective or we can have an eagle's perspective. And the eagle's perspective can take the whole entire view, where the ant is just seeing things head on, the short term, the short term, the short term.
Excellent.
And you were saying earlier, like, why don't people want to be conscious? And you said it doesn't hurt bad enough. They whine enough, but they don't actually get off their butt to do anything until a near-death experience.
Exactly.
For myself, I was in a wheelchair at age 11, and my legs were taken away as an athlete, and that was my, how do I think of this from a higher perspective? So I went from, I'm not a victim in a wheelchair, to the eagle's perspective. God is training me to use meditation to actually talk to my body and my cells, to transcend the physical and the emotional aspects of my conundrum, and to actually get out of that wheelchair saying, well, God is actually training me to do something greater. And then I went on to teach people health and fitness and had a whole career in that, because I didn't want to be in a wheelchair again.
There you go. We can either be a victim or we can be a victor. And I was recently in a wheelchair with a broken foot and a broken toe. So, boy, was I motivated to get out of that wheelchair.
Yeah, and it's a gift. It became
Yes.
a gift. So when Nandi's saying, what's the rooftop of your mind? Why is this a gift? Everything that God sends you is a gift. And if you can climb up to that rooftop in that highest perspective and see that gift, gratitude flows. And as Nandi says, you open up a portal of grace.
Right. And that is mastering a certain level of consciousness. So, Kim, I'm going to take it back to you again.
Well, like Nandi was saying, most of us have a dream of something beyond what we're experiencing right now. And that's what the Ascended Masters are saying. What we call normal human consciousness is really a very low state of consciousness where we see ourselves as separated from our source. And the alternative to that is the Christ consciousness, where we realize not only are we connected to the source, we are actually one with the source. We are the source expressing itself in the material world. And when we become aware of that, we become what Nandi called the ninja or the superhuman.
Oh, right. That's beautiful. Thank you. Nandi.
Kim, it's so beautiful. So well said, Kim. So well said.
Thank you.
Yes. Consciousness really is God. I mean, infinity.
And where we connect to the God within us, right?
Exactly. Source.
Yes.
So when you say consciousness, it is where are we drawing each thought from? And when we know that we are source connected, then every thought is from a higher place.
Okay, so we could either connect to the external, that's outside of us.
We can connect to our mind, or we can connect to source. It's source for the thought.
Okay.
And the mind itself then becomes the vehicle to source.
Okay.
God.
Exactly.
Consciousness.
And Kim, you're teaching the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, another way to say it is that the mind is like at the button on a radio, the old type radios where you turn it to tune into different stations. So you either tune into the misery in the world or you tune into source.
Which is where the love and the peace and the oneness and all of the goodness is. And as Athena was saying, it's usually through trial and tribulation that we turn to source, because I found that until things get bad enough, people just won't do anything but whine and complain. And I've been there, done that.
It's amazing because, like the movie Lucy.
Yes.
That we see of what the potential lies. And the truth is, I've been on this pathway for the last 23 years, and I can't still believe myself over the years as things grow, because one thing I've realized is the innate genius that wakes up, and everyone has a beautiful, unique genius, and that genius keeps waking up, and as it wakes up, we see our realities too multiply itself, and I would relate that reality to be so huge and vast, so totally aligned to the vastness of our expanding consciousness.
Yes. And it is expanding, thank God. Okay. Now that we have officially moved into the Aquarian age, I am constantly looking for signs in movies like Lucy, which I really, really love, of consciousness expanding. And it's a beautiful thing to watch it and to be a part of it. And as a teacher, to be helping other people awaken to their greatness. You're listening to Divine Love Talk on CRN. I'm your host, Dr. Parthenia Grant. You can check out Nandi's book, Mastery of Consciousness, and you have a lot of other cool stuff going on your website. Which one? Which website?
You could go into nandhi.com, NANDHI.com.
NANDHI.com. Okay. Yes. We'll be back with more of Divine Love Talk on CRN after commercial break.
When you really want Italian food, you've got to go to Columbo's. Columbo's Italian Steakhouse and Jazz Club, Colorado Boulevard, Eagle Rock. It's that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. If you haven't been to Columbo's, you don't know what you're missing. Delicious food. The steaks on this side are fabulous. The seafood so fresh and flavorful. Columbo's family Italian specialties are Southern California legendary, and the meatballs, the best in the West, North, South, and East. Plus service that's friendly but not fawning, and jazz every night, and it's also affordable. That's what makes Columbo's special, and they make special easy, whether for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. That's why when you really want Italian food, you've got to go to Columbo's, because it really is that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. Columbo's, making special easy every day. Columbo's, mangia.
Do you have unfiled tax returns or owe the IRS or state more than $10,000? If you don't take action now, your tax problem is going to get worse. Much worse. Seizure of property, bank levies, wage garnishments, and potential criminal prosecution. And if you owe the IRS back payroll taxes, chances are you will be visited at your home or business by an IRS agent. Don't become paralyzed by fear. Take action now. Call the experts at U.S. Tax Shield for help. Our team of experienced tax attorneys can get you protected, stop collections, and negotiate a permanent settlement with the IRS and state, potentially saving you thousands of dollars. At U.S. Tax Shield, our tax advisors will review your case for free, inform you of your rights, and give you a guaranteed quote. No games and no tricky upsells. That's why we have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and thousands of satisfied clients. Put an end to your torment. Get protected. Get the Shield. Call U.S. Tax Shield now at 800-211-8753. That's 800-211-8753. 800-211-8753.
Have you ever considered adding a home security system but thought it would be too expensive? Here's the good news. There's never been a more affordable time to help protect your home, valuables, and your loved ones. You can now get a $100 Visa card from Protect Your Home, your authorized ADT dealer, with the installation of a new ADT monitored system. Here's even better news. Your new system, worth $850, is free. You pay just a $99 installation charge and purchase monthly monitoring for less than $2 a day. Call Protect Your Home today at 1-866-669-8954. That's 1-866-669-8954. Get the peace of mind that comes with owning an ADT monitored system, plus a $100 Visa card from Protect Your Home. Call now, 1-866-669-8954. That's 1-866-669-8954. 36-month monitoring contract required. General terms and conditions apply. Visit protectyourhome.com/terms.
What's the secret to great business trips? Choice Hotels, where you'll find everything a business traveler needs, like a generous rewards program. And right now, choose Choice twice for 2 separate trips and get a night at no price. Stay for business at Choice Hotels and book now at choicehotels.com. Great endings begin here. Free night based on an 8,000-point Choice Privileges Reward Night at over 1,500 hotels. Valid 2/19/15 through 4/22/15. Requires registration and 2 separate qualifying stays. Other terms and conditions apply. Details at choicehotels.com.
Chuck Wilder here, host of the original Talkback. Noon to 2 p.m. Pacific Daylight Savings Time, 3 to 5 out there on the East Coast. You know, we cover everything you need to know to keep up with what they don't want you to know. Talkback, CRN, Digital Talk, noon to 2 Pacific Daylight Savings Time.
Okay, we're back, continuing our discussion with Nnamdi and his book, Mastery of Consciousness. Beautiful book, very helpful guidelines in there. And I kind of see it as one of those books where you can just kind of open it up, you know, to whatever is going on in your life that particular day, and it'll give you something of benefit. I kind of like those kind of books.
It works from there.
Yeah.
Because you know, like in the kaleidoscope of time.
Mm-hmm. And you did a beautiful job with the colors and the pictures and all that.
Yes, I wanted so much to bring in the mystical India element.
Yeah.
Pictures that people have never seen before, areas and places.
And you did a masterful job. And
I also designed the book as to how I might want to see a book.
Sure.
And that is, I would like to see the picture, and then I'd like to know, I'd like to have a story behind that picture.
Right.
And then the Consciousness Sutra by itself, giving the overall wisdom around, giving the overall wisdom, and the picture supporting that sutra.
Right, because a picture really is worth 1,000 words. And then when you consider today's young people, they're very much driven by images, and they don't want you giving them way too much information at one time. So breaking it down the way that you broke it down into digestible little pieces, I think that was very smart.
Grateful. I should say gratitude to all those who guided me, being like you and the masters.
Well, absolutely. So now I'd like to talk about how you can awaken the inner prophet, and you're referring to it as the inner prophet, and Kim Michaels would refer to it as your I am presence. So would you kind of give the audience an understanding of what you mean by inner prophet?
Yes. Beings like Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, Aurobindo, and all of them, like when they were subjected to being put into prison, it was there in that dark corner that they were able to light their own inner lamp of wisdom.
Okay.
And when that is awake, we are the inner prophet.
Okay, that was well done. Athena, did you want to add something to that?
Well, I feel that each one of us is the spark of God in our own human condition. Mm-hmm. And when this book is a great way to remind people to light the inner lamp so that you can think from what a prophet would say, what a prophet would do, what a sage would say, what a sage would do. Like when Nandi was saying becoming a superhero, and to know that the I am is within us and is thinking every thought. What kind of miracles unfold from our life at that point?
Exactly. And Kim, I'd like for you to add some commentary about the inner prophet, or the I am, coming from the I am perspective.
Yeah, the lowest potential we have is that we become involved in a worldly world and we think we have to perfect the outer self according to some standard. And then we become all frantic in trying to do things the way the world wants it done. And the higher way is to reconnect to our I am presence and simply become an open door for the presence. So that instead of sitting here with the outer mind intellectualizing about what we should or shouldn't do, we spontaneously let it flow through us. And that is, to me, the alpha and the omega of what we're here for, to show that there's a higher way.
And I'm very, very grateful to your teachings, because I have learned that when I'm stressed out and things are not going right, there's something I'm not getting, and to get quiet and go within and ask for help from my inner prophet, as Nandi would call it, or my I am presence. And I'm finding, Kim, that maybe as time is speeding up or whatever, man, I'm getting the answers like immediately. It's like I just ask and it's given, and it's a beautiful thing. Yeah, Athena, you were agreeing.
No, I had a big, when Kim was talking, I had big gold heat wave shoot up my spine.
Oh, wonderful. That's that Christ consciousness energy. Nandi.
Yes, it's beautiful, when we start tuning into that I am consciousness, and then we wake up to being the yogi. So when we say being the yogi, what does it mean? Mm-hmm. It means, when Buddha woke up, there was this huge wave of light that woke up everyone around him.
Yes.
And then it didn't mean that his journey was over. That's when his journey actually began.
Right.
And that is our pathway, the mystical element, the mystical yogic tradition, the Siddhas, the journey beyond enlightenment.
Okay.
So my guru, for instance, was meditating for 18 years, drinking a glass of milk a day, and he had gone beyond sleep.
Well, he was in the cave, right?
Cave,
yeah.
For 18 years. And then he came down the mountain, and now he's back into meditation. It's his 8th year. So it's something like 26 years he's been in a perpetual meditation.
But he came down for how long? Did he teach?
He came down, and now he's in a village, isolated, and only the few who can go to meet him.
Okay.
And he's still in meditation.
Okay.
Now, when you look into this, now having woken up to the I am, we also understand there's a journey beyond an expanding consciousness, and this state of consciousness is the superhuman state called the state of Turiya, the 4th state of consciousness.
Okay.
And in this 4th state of consciousness is where not only are we interconnected to all the stages of consciousness, we are also so perpetually evolving that we are also evolving the angelic realities and the angelic realm with us.
Right.
And the first 3 are awaken, sleeping, dreaming,
and then the state of Turiya. Now, this state of Turiya is only now opening itself up in terms of what it is to the outside world. But all masters are all the ascended masters are in the state of Turiya.
Okay, but we do have access to it, because I know I have my moments.
Every one of us.
As a writer, where I tap into it.
Every one of us tap into it knowingly or unknowingly.
Yeah.
It's like an artist painting. Yeah. And when you paint, you forget hunger, you forget sleep, you forget tiredness, and that giant inspiration, that huge inspiration is a gift that comes from the knowing.
Yes.
And that the knowing that enables us to not only wake up the inner prophet, but also journey that inner prophet to higher states of consciousness.
So, Kim, would you call that the state of mind that you're in, like at the Ascended Master conferences where you are bringing this information to us? Would you call that the same state of mind?
Yeah, probably, but I would also emphasize that it's something we can all experience, and we can experience this in glimpses. And like Nani was saying, a lot of times we're just not even aware of what's happening, but I think most spiritual people have had these experiences throughout our lives. And it's so important, what Nani's doing, what other people are doing is making us more conscious of who we really are.
Yeah, and I'm so excited. I just want to do a quick little promo. Kim is finally coming back to the United States after 5 years, July 17th, 18th, and 19th to do an Ascended Master Conference. So I want to invite you guys, if you're around, to definitely show up for that.
I want to say something. I was doing some research, and I found out that the Ascended Masters and the White Brotherhood, have you heard of the White Brotherhood?
Of course, that's who.
They all go back to this traditional Siddhar path, and they go all the way back to Lord Morga and the Six-Pointed Star and the Pleiades. I mean, I don't know how we can talk about all of that, but a lot of ascended consciousness has come and incarnated on this planet as these wise sages and Siddhars, and the Siddhars are just the ancient yogic sect from South India. But they travel all over, and they are the White Brotherhood. Yes. It's one and the same.
Yes, absolutely. Look, Kim, Athena is looking like a little kid. She's so excited to share that. But I think you would agree with that these traditions are all interconnected. Christ did go to India. He did learn from what I guess you would call the Siddhars there. Correct, Kim?
Oh yeah, I mean, at a certain level you see the differences in terminology, but there comes a point where you just see beyond the outer words and the outer traditions and realize it's all coming from the same source, and that's the beauty of it.
Yes.
So true. And what's beautiful about this is, like, the moment any one of us just simply decide to meditate, we begin to touch base with just about the same source of the source of wisdom that all masters touch base with.
Yes. And we all have that ability to access it. I find that just being in nature and being alone in nature, I can tap into so much more than I can when there's all of the noise around me.
It is, but what I would rather, what I've learned over the many years is the alighting of the state of joy within ourselves.
That's true.
We want to light and keep lit, and then every breath of ours, we know the source of the breath, and we know the destination of the breath. Yes. And so we know the thought, and we know the wisdom behind the thought. And in this way, every breath, every moment, our energies are moving upwards.
Yeah. And the joy and gratitude, I agree, is what's going to get you there.
See, a very interesting note is that when we reach the age of 28 onwards, our energy that has been moving upwards now starts going downhill. The laws of gravity takes place from the age of 28 onwards. But for yogi, the energy is perpetually moved upwards and upwards. So youth and rejuvenation is very natural.
And possible.
And this is, especially when every breath of ours is from the knowing, and that breathlessness, the breath beyond breath, is the spirit, and the breath is the human.
Yes.
So relating these two with awareness, and the journey beyond awareness is that states of higher consciousness that we bring into play in the human realities.
And I think that is our natural birthright, and we all have that natural ability, and I'm very excited about the times that we're in, because we don't have to. I tell young people, if you will start doing these practices and eat healthier and think, happier thoughts, you don't have to age. There's something that you can do about it, and the spiritual practices are very powerful in that respect in terms of healing our four lower bodies. And Kim, every day I use the Songs in the River of Life matrix that are specifically designed for light workers to help heal the 4 lower bodies. And I think that they're very, very powerful. So I'd like to recommend those. What's the name of the book that they come from again?
It's called Song of Life, The Healing Matrix.
Song of Life, The Healing Matrix. And there are 4 of them, one for each body, the physical, mental, and spiritual bodies, emotional as well. And I know that you have a practice, Nandi. When I went all day, that's a lot of work.
See, if we experience a state of joy, we would maintain any discipline to have more of it.
Yes.
That's one part. But yeah, this is a very interesting thing. And that is, when you look at philosophers and thinkers throughout human history, we see that they have not really written so much about love, though we constantly pull the word love. None of them, the word that they utilized most, or the aspiration that they focused most, was on freedom.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
And this quest for freedom lies in every one of us. So when you mentioned it is a birthright for each of us to have consciousness.
Yeah.
It is so true, because ultimately that is the highest aspiration, to be free. And consciousness is absolute freedom.
And it's interesting that you would say that, because I mentioned that Kim does the work with the 7 rays, and the 7th ray is also the ray of freedom, mercy, compassion.
Absolutely.
And freedom has always been so important to me.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Kim, could you say something about that, freedom?
Yeah, I agree with what Nandi said. It is really such a deep desire within us to be free of what we see around us, all this human condition, the human misery, the struggle. And I think that all of us who are spiritual, it's because we have this inner knowing there is an alternative to this. We just don't dare to acknowledge it. We don't dare to really accept that it is a reality. And that's why we need the spiritual teachings to inspire us to come to that point where we can accept it and accept who we are.
Yeah, and own that birthright. I am stepping into owning that. I'm pretty much done with misery. I've had enough of it.
You had enough of that experience.
I think one of the wonderful things about the book, looking at the Siddhars, is they're humans that have mastered God consciousness in a physical form.
Wow.
And it's indigenous into our DNA to be able to do that, which is what Lucy talks about, and Limitless talks about, and Avatar talks about. And Hollywood is putting that out because the masses are craving it.
Exactly.
So anybody who enjoyed those movies is going to love this book, because it's a step towards that, becoming your own avatar, becoming your own inner prophet, and mastering your own reality, starting with your physical body, like you talked about, your emotional body, your mental body, your soul body, and then being able to pull in that Christ frequency and operate from there.
Yeah, and I think we need books like this and the teachings that Kim is offering, because, every teacher is not for every student. But all paths do lead to God if you actually follow them, sincerely, and you're willing to do the work.
And there's 10,000 of us, right? That's what Kim said? There's 10,000 of us here.
Yeah, Athena's claiming hers. I know I'm one of the 10,000.
Here's one.
There you go.
Who would, when we look at ourselves on the mundane plane, we are like the planet that has its day, it has its night, moods and moods, good mood, bad mood, good thoughts, good karma, bad karma. But what if we all became the sun?
All right.
And now the planet, which is our realities and our own mind, starts going around us.
Hello. Well, I'm letting my little light shine, and you're certainly doing your job, Nandi, and so is Kim and Athena. We'll be back wrapping this up after commercial break. I'm talking with Nandi and his book, Mastery of Consciousness, at Nandi, NANDHI.com. Okay, and Kim Michaels at TranscendenceToolbox.com. And you can find me at drparthenia.com. Spell out the word doctor.
Did you know know that with a bachelor's degree, on average, you can make almost twice as much over a lifetime than a person with just a high school diploma? Yes! According to the U.S. Census Bureau, you can make almost twice as much. Going back to college is now easier than ever. There are select online colleges that provide laptops to their students. In fact, there are thousands of college programs on your laptop. You can go to college anywhere and everywhere right from a laptop. Call My College Laptop and you can find hundreds of programs from accredited colleges and universities nationwide. Start a new career in law enforcement, business, information technology, healthcare, and hundreds of others. Call My College Laptop to find an online college that will provide you with a laptop. In no time at all, you can double your earning potential. Double your earning potential. Call now. 1-800-582-7531. That's 800-582-7531. 800-582-7531.
When you meet people, find out what they care about. Maybe it's a camping trip or a project at work. And when you meet again, ask about it. Communication expert Diana Boer.
When you pay attention to someone's hobby, their hometown, you're saying, you're interesting to me. If you walk into a room and you say, here I am, that's very egotistical. Other people who tend to be likable and build trust walk into a room and say, there you are, and that's the difference. When you say something about someone's interest, you are saying basically, there you are, I want to know about you. And you ask questions about that person. That draws them out. You can see the difference in their energy level. You see their face light up.
And if you ask questions about what they're saying now, they'll remember you. Diana Boer is the author of What More Can I Say? Why Communication Fails and What to Do About It. That's Primetime Focus, brought to you by AARP. I'm Aileen Ellis.
Hi, I'm Joan London, and if you're worried about your parent or a loved one living alone like I was, and you want reliable senior care information, then call A Place for Mom, the nation's largest senior living referral service. You'll get free information on assisted living, Alzheimer's care, nursing homes, even important financial information.
They had obviously researched every place, not just given me names. Really? Yeah. They found me a place for what she could afford, and it was magnificent.
We're now very confident that she's safe, and they just helped every step of the way, and I can't thank them enough.
So if you're struggling to find reliable senior living information, call A Place for Mom. This is a free service, and you can trust them to help you.
If you're struggling to find reliable senior living information for your mom or dad, then call or go online to get the free help you need during this turbulent time. Call now, 800-471-5173, 800-471-5173.
Okay, we're back wrapping this up with my discussion with Nandi and his book, Mastery of Consciousness. Now, Nandi, I understand that you're offering some online classes. Would you like to talk about that?
Yes. It is my duty, dharma, to share the states of grace, the states of joy, the innermost fire with all, and to wake up each to be the sun. And when we wake up, and when we collectively wake up, we will uplift ourselves and humanity. So the ongoing teachings in the form of as mastery of consciousness in the form of Kalangi Kundalini Yoga, in several different forms, in how to manifest while writing. And I am so happy to be now sharing these teachings with you.
Okay. And Athena, you'd like to...
I'm in the teaching, so I've been doing it for a year, and I'm super thrilled. I just want to recommend anybody who's in search to actually enhance their either supernatural powers or their intuition, because we all have that. If you watched Harry Potter, it's a very popular film. Right. Everybody wants to go to a magic school.
Of course.
Well, it's in here, because when you read stories about what we have access and we have the potential to attain, that it gives your imagination something to hold on to go, oh yeah, me too, I can do that. The great sages and the siddhars, they trilocate. They're omnipresent.
Yeah.
They have the ability to have intuition to know things that are happening in the future, even if it's just the future of yourself and your soul and where you're going. And then the second part of the teachings actually gets you on the ground action. What do I do now that I'm conscious and I'm the sun and the planets revolve around me and I'm awake? You want to help humanity in some way. And Nandi has incredible projects to help animals and to help the food supply and to help consciousness evolve. So all these things are ripe for the picking, ready for people to jump in. So if you're wanting that, get to Nandi.com and check out the classes online.
Yeah, and you're all about non-GMO and organic, and I'm loving that. So Nandi, I'm just so excited. I was very blessed to spend a whole day doing yoga with you, and I love that tree at your space. It's a very, very magical tree. Very old soul in that tree. And I'd like to encourage people to come out and have an experience with you, with your classes.
Grateful. I look at it from this perspective. We wake up in the morning, and the first question is, where am I going to think from? Mm-hmm. Imagine a mind like a car. What sort of car do you want to drive? And where, and
the
that
Tesla.
Yes,
right.
Exactly.
Efficiency.
Yes. So when we step into step into our own states of joy and enhance it and climb up beyond consciousness. And now we take the day as to the way we wish it to be.
Okay, and Kim, would you close for us?
Well, I just want to say it's beautiful to have met you, Nandi and Athena. I think it's so wonderful that there are so many people teaching the same path, and there really is no competition among teachers with pure hearts.
Exactly, and that's why I wanted to bring you guys together.
Kim, it's such a joy, honor, and blessing to actually soul connect with you, Divine Brother. What you have to offer and what you say, is definitely something that humanity's destiny to reach.
And
so
come and meet Kim July 17th, 18th, and 19th. I'm inviting you guys out.
Would love to.
Okay, Thank you all for listening to Divine Love Talk on CRN. I am your host, Dr. Parthenia Grant. Check me out at drparthenia.com, Kim Michaels at transcendencetoolbox.com, and Nandi.com, NANDHI.com. Thank you. We'll see you next week.
Shows sound like this? What if you could hear your favorite shows in crystal clear, high definition digital